I'm in a creative limbo right now because my book is at the publisher for a final work through, and I can't really collect my mind to start something new or write another thing. So I thought this might be a great time to try out another writer's writing routine and see if that can sort of kickstart my creativity. Now, Patti Smith doesn't have a writing routine per se. It's more of a vibe, but this is what I've gathered from the books and all the interviews I've seen. The only problem is, to me, Patti Smith feels very urban. I picture her in an old city cafe, like sipping coffee, scribbling things on a notebook, watching the world and people go by, taking polaroids of things on the street, visiting cozy bookshops. But there are no bookshops in the town that I live. So let's go to Stockholm. Good morning. It's early. Let's see what we have in store for today. Patti Smith says in an interview, I get up and if I feel out of sorts, I'll do some exercises. Well, I always feel out of sorts. Don't know what kind of exercises she's talking about. But in this book, she actually buys a house on the beach. So since I am next to the beach right now, I think Patti Smith wouldn't mind a little beach walk in the morning. Would you? Good morning. Back from the beach, and this is what Patti would do in the morning. I'll feed my cat. Don't have a cat. I'm sure that will be fine. Get my coffee, take a notebook, and I write for a couple of hours. Let's do it. I have a fine desk, but I prefer to work from my bed, as if I'm a convalescent in a Robert Louis Stevenson poem, an optimistic zombie propped by pillows, producing pages of fruit, not quite ripe or overripe. Write something, anything, every day. Since Patti moved to New York in the 70s, she has written at least one line every day. It isn't always easy. Sometimes I pretend I'm a prisoner, and if I don't write my one line, I be condemned to solitary confinement, she says. Discipline is a beautiful thing. Well, I'm not sure about discipline, but I did manage to write actually more than one page today. I'm very excited. I haven't written anything in my romantic novel for ages. But yesterday I got an idea for the epilogue, and there's a big reveal, and there might be like a little bit of a teaser or setup for the book number 2. I know I'm crazy. I haven't even written the first book. And I wrote it out today. I mean, it's not perfect, but if you start writing, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to write something. And my friends, we can do one line per day. Every morning I got up, put on my coat, grabbed my pen and notebook, and headed across 6th Avenue to my cafe. I loved my coat and the cafe and my morning routine. Then I just roam around. I try to take long walks and things like that. I just kill time until something good is on TV. trying to get over my fear of vlogging and taking photographs in public. I just been to Old Town, and that was actually fine because a lot of people there are tourists and it's completely normal to walk around filming yourself and filming things. So yeah, it was okay. If I'm out and about on my own, I normally try to avoid other people, and I don't like loud noises and people screaming and talking very loud. But the writing advice number 2 is be alert to your surroundings. If you can't think of anything to write, record. Write down a conversation you overheard. Be attentive to what people are saying. The best writers are also the keenest observers. So, go into the nearest crowd and listen, trying to not act really suspicious. Whenever Smith is feeling down, she thinks of the English romantic poet and artist William Blake, who is considered one of the greatest artists who ever lived, but who was ridiculed during his life and died penniless. He displayed a steadfast determination and outpouring of creativity despite his hardships. Reading the books, Patti normally has bean soup and brown toast. That's basically all she eats. Brown toast, olive oil, coffee, and bean soup. Now, gluten-free bread doesn't really come in brown, but my fiber toast and lentil soup will have to do. Patti seems almost obsessed with crime shows, especially Nordic ones. There's a section where she spends Christmas Eve at the movie theatre watching The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I buy my ticket and a large black coffee and a bag of organic popcorn at the corner deli, and then settle in my seat at the back of the theatre. I liked the looks of the movie. I had already seen the Swedish version without subtitles, but hadn't read the book, so now I would be able to piece together the plot and lose myself in the bleak Swedish landscape. Very bleak indeed. It actually went quite well. I had a lot of fun roaming around Stockholm, but it also made me very, very tired. I'm not a city person. I live in the countryside, so I get very, very overwhelmed with all the people and the noises. At the time, it didn't seem like I was very productive, but now when I think back, I did write a scene in my book. I wrote another thing that might be a video sometime, and I did plot a whole new book in my head and also out loud to my husband on the way home. So it really did kickstart my creativity, which was the point of it. I don't know if I could do it for more than one day. Maybe I could. Maybe you get used to it if you just stay in the city for like a week. Maybe you sort of filter it out, all the noises and all the people. I don't know. But it was a lot of fun. I got a little bit of an insight in how a routine can work. And I want to finish by reading my favorite section of M-Train. I am going to write, I told him. What will you do? He surveyed the area with his eyes, fixing on the sky. I'm going to think, he said. Well, thinking is a lot like writing. Yes, he said, only in your head.